Hey guys, what's up? Dan here with a new video. Happy New Year, happy holidays. Let's take a quick look at the farming strategy that I used to farm my solo level 100 and my first 250 divines in 3.23 Affliction League. At the start of this league, my plan was to take my league starter to level 95, farm 20 or so divines and transition into the Arakaali's Fang Occultist. I decided to postpone the transition a little bit because, to be honest, I was a little bit worried about the performance of the build. Players kept telling me that they don't have enough damage, they don't have enough survivability in 316 maps, so I decided to do some extensive testing and see just how far can I push my 4 Divines League starter. And it seems that it can go up to level 100 if you're gonna use the omens that reduces 75% of experience loss on death. They are so nice, an amazing addition to the game. They were introduced in Trial of the Ancestors and they definitely helped me out a lot because at level 99 I died 2 times before 20%. So instead of having around 15% experience, I would have actually been at 0, so the character would have probably stopped at the level 99. I was going for a Blight Rush setup with a Boss Rush setup as well. What exactly does that mean? Well, when you're Blight Rushing, you're going inside the map, you're completing the Blight, and then you open a portal and you go run another map. Until level 99, I was also Boss Rushing, so I would go inside the map, I would complete a Blight encounter, I would make my way towards the map boss, and I would pick up some Searing Exarch invitations, some Shaper Elder, some Conqueror and the Synthesis maps, and I would also find some heist caches along the way. At level 99, the 8th map boss decided to one-shot me from 1.5 screens away, so I decided to stop going for the map boss, and although I did keep this Atlas kill tree, I was going for a Blight Rush setup, which, like I've already mentioned, go inside the map, complete the Blight, get out, go run another map. If you wanna go for strictly Blight Rushing, you don't need these notes right here. If you wanna go for Blight plus a Boss Rush, then I would say keep these notes, they are really good. Besides being a good, actually an amazing experience farming strategy until level 95 and a good one after that, this is also a pretty good farming strategy because Blights don't really get that many bonuses from the quantity that you're adding on the maps. So you can actually run scoured maps to farm experience, but I didn't want to cheese my solo level 100. I was arcing the maps but with easy modes. But if you're really struggling, use this Atlas skill tree, run some scour maps, and you're gonna be able to make quite a lot of currency. I made around 5 to 6 divines profit per hour. This is not an optimized setup for currency farming, but still I got to solo level 100 with it, and I also managed to farm 250 divines. Now if you wanna safely level up past level 95, or maybe if you wanna safely farm on a league starter that doesn't yet have all the bells and whistles, you're gonna come to this website right here. It's gonna be listed in the pinned comment and in the description of this video, and you're gonna get a regex. What exactly do we need to do here? We're gonna select the dangerous modes, and then we're gonna get this line right here. We're gonna copy it and we're gonna paste it inside the game. And afterwards we're gonna start rolling our maps, and if they highlight, it means that they don't have the dangerous modes. These maps, for example, are not highlighted, so they have those dangerous modes. Now this one has the reflect elemental damage, which means that my specters, my Hydra specters would have died, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna scour them, we're gonna alch them again, and as you can see, this one is highlighted. So for example, this one doesn't contain the dangerous modes that we don't wanna run in our maps. We're gonna be able to safely run this map for experience farming. Let's take a look at this one. As you can see, 31% extra physical as chaos, 100% extra physical as cold. This means that we're probably gonna be destroyed on a cheap league starter if we're gonna run this map. Now I was actually farming Atols because I was going for a Boss Rush setup as well. But as I've mentioned, after I got destroyed in a single hit from the map boss, I decided to go just for a Blight Rush setup. In case you don't know, there are two types of Blights. You can run Blights for currency, which is Waste Pools, and you're only getting 2 lanes. And you want to get those 2 lanes because one blight lane always gives you oils and blighted maps, so we're basically getting more oils and more maps. But if you want to farm experience, you want to run your blights in an open map. Atolls are nice, but strands are actually better because you're gonna be able to get up to 10 gates if I'm not mistaken, and from those 10 gates you're gonna spawn a lot more monsters than from those 2 gates. I have also tested it out this league, and it took me 19 maps to get 5% experience, which is one of these small bars right here in Waste Pools with the Blight Rush setup, and it took me 15 maps to get 5% experience with Atolls. I have a feeling that with Strand you're probably gonna be able to get a 5% experience in 12 maybe 13 maps, which used to be the case a few leagues ago when I used this farming strategy to get another solo level 100. This is what I spent all of the currency, most of the currency that I made on. We have some nice items here, right? Some pretty cool things. A really fun character. I've also taken down some Ubers with it. And blights are amazing for currency. They are good for leveling, even if you're gonna run them on a setup that's not optimized for currency farming. You're still gonna get quite a lot of currency and quite a lot of experience per hour. They're not as good as breaches, which is the farming strategy that I used last league to go to solo level 100. I was actually making 30 to 33 million experience per hour with breaches. But with blights I was only making 20 to 23 million experience per hour, but I was also making 5 to 6 divines profit per hour, and that's how I managed to get the currency needed to assemble this amazing Arakaali Fang Occultist version. Now let's talk a little bit about the requirements for solo level 100. You need these things if you want to have smooth leveling past the level 95. Some of these things were missing on my league starter, but can't really call a league starter a build that's gonna have a Skin of the Lords and the Aegis Aurora and the Defiance of Destiny perfectly rolled, so I had to limit myself a little bit. But just because I did things like this doesn't mean you have to. Get yourself good items and then go for that final 5 levels grind. So the requirements are as follows. You're gonna need the Omen that reduces 75% experience loss when your character gets a free teleport back to your hideout. It's an amazing addition to the game from Tota. Do not skip it past level 95. Besides that, if you're on the left side of the tree, you're gonna go for high armor, and you're gonna go for spell block and attack block, and you're gonna get life ES on block. If you're on the right side of the tree, you're gonna go for evasion rating and the spell suppression instead. You're gonna need overcap resistances for exposure, you're gonna need curse mitigation, you're gonna need shock immunity. I have a Tempest shield. You're gonna need either ailment immunity or mitigation. I wasn't immune to ignites or poisons, but I do have a ignite flask, and I also have 75% chaos resistance, so it didn't really matter that much. Corrupted blood immunity, bleeding immunity, mandatory. You're gonna be damaged so much if you don't have these 2 things. You're not gonna be able to level up past level 92, 93 if you don't get corrupted blood and bleeding immunity. Phasing mandatory. You don't want to get stuck in packs and lose 10% or 2.5% experience at level 99. And if you're using Molten Shell, you can go for a class 1 damage taken setup like I've done here, or you can just use it on the left click to be a little bit tankier. If you're playing minions, you're gonna go for the Taunt Blind Jewel, either with Taunt and Blind, or what I had here was the Taunt and Corrupted Blood Immunity. The ones with Taunt, Blind and Corrupted Blood Immunity were a little bit expensive this league. Taunt is a really nice defensive feature for minion builds because the enemies are not gonna focus you, they're gonna focus your minions. You're gonna need to have some form of clear speed in the build. You really don't want to tank these dangerous monsters past the level 95, because although it's probably gonna work out okay for 10-20 maps in a row, sometimes you're gonna get a really dangerous monster that is able to one-to-shot you. But if you have some really nice explosions in the build, for example I have the Asenat's Gentle Touch and the Profane Proxy combo, then you're just gonna clear the dangerous monsters before they manage to get to you, and as you guys know, the best defense is a good offense. Now this doesn't mean that you can just forgo defenses, at least in a game like PoE, but you do want to have a good clear speed so that you're not gonna get yourself in really dangerous situations. How exactly can you play? Fast, slow? Well, this is something that you need to figure out. If I was tired, I was playing a little bit slower. If I just had my coffee, I was going really fast. It's really up to you. Just learn to play safely and don't get yourself in danger. Now let's try to summarize the whole video because I've given you quite a lot of information. You're gonna need the character that is tanky, or at least tanky enough. Use the omens that are gonna reduce the experience loss. They are amazing voice after level 95. Roll your maps with the PoE Regex tool and use a safe farming strategy. And besides that, take your time, go fast, go slow, that's really up to you. Just learn how to play safely and don't get yourself in danger. If you want to see more experience farming strategies that you can use for your solo level 100, take a look at the pinned comment. Last league I have tried out a few more, I tried 5 in total. This league I decided to go with Blights because I really enjoyed playing this Minion Army Necromancer as a league starter and farm Blights with it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it, maybe drop a sub. Thank you for watching, good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Put out new mycelium! Ugh, new roots! The blight is trying to spread!